regularly meets with mothers to help them prioritize their busy lives.
So,
welcome to the broadcast.
Is that as a mom, we're
This
no longer
is going to
multitasking, we're
be a
megatasking.
great scope. You guys are going to love this.
Isn't that true?
Just because you're a mom doesn't mean. Don't you want to know? It's a good one. Welcome to the broadcast tonight. You're going to love it. Invite your friends.
We do for ourselves
Invite any moms that you know.
Like family.
I'm going to be blowing it out the park tonight. You guys know how I like to deliver my scopes.
I'm always ready
content
to work
rich.
out. So I always bring with me my
DreamWork, welcome. Thank you to the hearts, guys.
Resistance bands. Easy way to get your workout in any day.
Nettie Queen is in the house. Good to see you.
How about dads? Can dads have one too?
Absolutely. Dads create the best toolkits.
Guys, this is going to be a great scope. Get out your notepads. Get out your notepads. Invite your friends. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. You need to do it now.
Strategy called blending.
It's a great. Any moms that you know, please, good to see you, my body queen. Tell me your name.
For yourself.
Nika is in the house. Glenn Garnes is in the house. Hey, Glenn, good to see you.
While you're taking care of your children.
Hey, darling. Marcy is in the house. Awesome. You got your pad and pen. You are ready. Invite your friends, guys. Let's pack it out. Just because you're a mom doesn't mean. Hey, Glenn. Guys, you need to follow Glenn Garnes. He is awesome. He's a great friend of mine.
No judgment. Just
quality person, sharp.
Opportunity to connect with other women in your demographics of motherhood. And I firmly believe that moms aren't necessarily looking to balance their work and their life. I think what we want
Thank
more
you so much for sharing, guys. Make sure you follow Gwen. Thank you for sharing
on a daily basis in your life is the goal. The next time you and your family.
Now, who do you know that's a mom on Periscope that needs to be here tonight? Just because you are a mom. Let me just say, we're not doing limiting beliefs tonight, guys. I'm going to bring it.
To refuel and reconnect, even in the middle of your busy lives. Remember, when mama's happy,
Coach Naima is here. Yeah, you can finally view. Awesome. I'm so fired up. You were watching me play one of your scopes. You had to check this one out. This one, I hope you're ready. Get your water. Get your water. I'm going to bring it. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight.
But it's worked really great for me, and it is dating your family.
Thank you guys so much for the heart.
Because you have
Girl in the air.
That works terrific.
Welcome to the scope tonight.
Home. And what I get a lot of my
we're going to get started in about a minute, guys. In a minute. You still have time to invite your friends.
Can put things that you
invite
want
your friends.
To enjoy together. Because sometimes we have opportunities to date our partners, but we don't have a whole lot of time. It might be you have 90 minutes, but by the time he has to go and get the movie or get a meal, the time that you would have spent together is gone.
I'm bringing it tonight. I hope you're ready.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, welcome the author of Time for Mommy.
Naturally, Dawn is in the house.
For Mother's Self-Care, Mia Redrick. Mia, thank you so much. Stand up, please. Pleasure. I really feel for this family. You did help.
I hope you guys are ready for this one. This is a big call tonight. I'm excited. Hey, it's Stella in the house. Thank you, Glenn, for inviting her. Hey, DreamWorks, tell me your name.
Drop everything in read.
Guys,
will allow the
we've got about 30 seconds. We're going to get started. Invite your friends. Any mom that you know will benefit. Okay, because just because you are a mom. Hey, Rose, good to see you.
Radio and lies to her husband about where she is, just so she can have a moment to breathe.
So what we talked about was them giving one another
This is going to be a great scope. I'm going to tell you guys. You're going to love it.
You need that when you have two young children. They're a couple that wants to be together. They don't want to be apart. And so you could see that when they started.
Thank you, DreamWorks, for inviting your followers. I appreciate it.
They reconnected immediately.
I saw you covering your ears when that was happening. Why?
It's emotional.
Yes, it is. Because I love my husband and we all forget why we got married.
Hey there, Patrina's in the house. Good to see ya. All right, this is why I do what I do. Here are my people, guys. And I'll flip the camera. There they are. All right, let me flip the camera. Hey there, guys. It's Mia Redrick here, the mom strategist. I'm so excited about this topic tonight. I am so excited, and I know you are too. For those of you who I've not met yet, I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. It's nice to virtually meet you. I have supported over 400 clients, and 112 of my clients are authors. Half of them are #1 Amazon bestsellers. Hey, Carol, good to see you. Good to see you tonight. What you need to know is that I'm in Maryland and we got over 29 inches of snow. We got over 29 inches of snow yesterday. So I am snowbound and fired up. And this topic tonight, which is just because you are a mom does not mean you guys are going to love this. And I'm going to give you guys one last minute to invite your friends. If you know any moms out there that are, that can benefit from this scope, I'm telling you, I'm going to bring it. Now, if you've been following my scopes, you know that they're all content rich. You can always check out my past scopes at katch.me, and just search my name, Mia_Redrick, okay? And I always try to bring it. Now, here's the thing. I want you to sign up for my newsletter. MiaRedrick.com is my newsletter, so if Periscope ever crashes, we can stay connected, MiaRedrick.com. I promise you, I'm not going to waste your time. So for those of you who don't know me, I want you to know my story. When I got started in business 13 years ago as a mom coach, I didn't even know what a mom coach was. I actually wanted to combine my background, my love of training, and my love of motherhood into a business. And I was not sure how to do that. And so my first stop, I went to like a business center in my town to figure out how might I turn my thoughts into a business. And I was told that what I've been doing for the last 13 years, coaching moms, over 400 clients, that I'd never be able to do that. That like I'd never make money coaching moms, okay? And so one of the reasons that I do my scopes is because maybe you're like me. Like maybe you have this unconventional dream that you want to put forward in the marketplace and you don't see anyone else doing what you're doing and you're wondering how it's possible. And I'm telling you, it's totally and absolutely possible. So you'll love my scopes because that's what I like to talk about. I ended up meeting a coach, Terry Levine. She changed my life, and she told me that she could help me, build my brand and show me some tools on how to monetize my message. And, for the last 10 years, I've been a full-time entrepreneur. And I know if you're a mom out there, some of you might want to be a full-time entrepreneur. Like maybe you want to work like me from the comfort of your home, and you're trying to figure out how to do that. Like how to take what you know, how to package what you know into content that you can monetize to be able to passively make money from your home. That was me. And literally what really did it for me, I wrote my first ebook. It was 40 pages. I didn't even write it. So the truth of the matter is I outsourced it. Someone else wrote it for me. And I ended up making $88,000 from it. You got to package what you know. Absolutely, Glenn. And I made $88,000 from it, from the comfort of my home, like an ebook I never wrote. And I was sold, and I was excited about that. And I started digging deep and learning more ways to be able to monetize content. Fast forward, I've been able to build my brand from scratch, literally from an idea. And I'm not telling you this to impress you, but to impress upon you that what I did do, you can do this too, okay? I built my brand from scratch, and I literally took my brand from an idea to Hollywood. I was signed to a Emmy-nominated, nationally syndicated show, America Now, and literally as myself, as the mom strategist, a brand that I created, and I've been able to work with Fortune 100 and 500 brands in partnership. And I tell you my story because you need to know it, because you can do this. I just want you to know it if you're a mom out there and you've been wondering, like, how do I do it? Like, there's more for you. I'm working on my first ebook. You can do this, right? And it changed my life, monetizing who I am, what I know. And I don't want you guys to take it for granted. Now, let me just shift gears. Tonight's topic, tonight's broadcast, thank you so much, is all about just because you're a mom doesn't mean. Now, what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to bring it. So, brace yourself. And I always give you guys absolutely the truth because I want to support you and I want you to come back. Mia helped me write my first book. I made over $30,000 on it. Glenn, that's true, right, Glenn? Let's not be partners, right? I think I have it. Right here. I have your book over here, Glenn. Glenn is awesome. Thank you so much, Glenn, for sharing that. You know what? I forgot. I didn't even think about it. Hey there. Good to see ya. I appreciate you so much, Glenn. You guys need to check him out. He's awesome. Okay. All right. So You guys, if you're ready for me to get started tonight with the topic, you need to say, I'm ready, Mia. I'm ready, Mia. Just because your mom doesn't mean who's ready. Like, who's ready? Who's ready? I'm ready. And I'm going to share the first topic. Now, I promise you're so ready. Okay. Anybody else ready? I mean, is Be Empowered Now the only person that's ready? Okay, you're ready. You're ready. Okay, you're ready. All right, so I'm going to bring it, okay? You're screaming, you're ready. Okay, you're ready, and you're ready. Okay, perfect. All right, just because your mom, here we go, is that I want you to know that just because you're a mom doesn't mean that if you pursue your dream, you're selfish. All right, I'm just going to go right there, okay? Just because you're a mom, if you pursue your dream doesn't mean you're selfish. And I want to tell you why I want to put that here. So here are ground rules for my scope, guys. Right, tap, 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 right? Right. Tap, 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 right, tap, 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 right, tap, tap, tap. The hearts are not for me. It's so that other people know that these are great broadcasts, okay? And I'm going to bring it. Now, here's the thing. Just because your mom does not mean that you are selfish. And so many moms, thank you so much, Carol, believe that if they pursue their dream, like that in some way that they're selfish, that they're taken away from their family. Time to let go of those negative stigmas. Absolutely. Julia is in the house. I want you to understand that your kids need to see you. They need to see that you are accomplishing your dreams. See, the more you accomplish your dreams, the more you get to share who you are with your family. And I believe what really is selfish in motherhood is not giving all of who you are because you do not know who you are. That is truly what is selfish because your kids don't get to know you, right? Negativity has to go. What you have to understand is that limiting beliefs have to go. When you are a mom, you can absolutely pursue your dream and you get to decide how you're going to do that. Thank you so much, Julia. Yes, you are their best example, right? You are their best example, and they need to see that from you. It is such an incredible gift for you as a mom to understand that when you decide to own your dreams and go for it and work your dreams, that you're modeling, you're changing a blueprint for your kids forever. Do you guys hear me on this? And that this whole notion of being a mom and going for your dreams is selfish. My kids, I brought my kids on, remember, maybe like 2 or 3 weekends ago, and I had each of them, you are the number one role model, absolutely. I brought my kids on 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they had the opportunity to talk about their perspective. What is it like to have a mom that pursues her dream, and does it mean that I neglect you? And each of them said no, like not because they had to, because it's not true. And I want to say that to you because if you're a mom and you've believed that in order for you to go for it, it means that you got to wait for your kids to go away to college. You got to wait for your kids to graduate from high school. You got to wait until 9 o'clock at night to pursue your dream. It's not true. It's a limiting belief, and it's probably based on your own story. Like maybe you haven't grown up seeing your mom reach for her own dream or seeing your grandmom in your life, and you don't know that it's possible, but I want to tell you that it is possible. The best way to add value to your relationships as a mom or as a wife is by you pursuing your dream. Everybody benefits from you being fulfilled and happy. I'm just saying there are no limits, Nettie Queen. There are no limits. And a lot of times in motherhood, we come up with these stories that like, if I do this, then that means that I can't be there for my family. I'm telling you that your husband wants you to be happy. Your kids want you to be happy. Thank you so much. Booyah, we're at 600,000 guys. I think today is day 60 or 61. I'm not sure, but we're pretty new on Periscope. So thank you guys so much for your support for the broadcast. I appreciate it. But your kids need to know, they need to know who you are. And the only way they're going to truly know who you are is if you pursue your dreams to add value to your relationships. It's the quality time, not the quantity. Absolutely. I believe that one of the greatest things you can do with a family is to date them, right? I date myself individually, right? I date myself individually every week. Yes, choose to be happy mom, however you define it. Absolutely. I date my husband every week. Well, we're supposed to date every other week. We date every week. And I date my kids individually once a month. And I think one of the best ways to know people in your family is by dating them. And a lot of us as moms, we believe that if we're pursuing what we love to do, that we're neglecting our family. I'm telling you, you're fully going to be able to love them. That means when you're listening to the stories that they're sharing with you, you are going to be there for them. Yes, that is so healthy. Absolutely. Dating yourself, dating your family, understanding and owning your dreams. Your kids need to see that you have dreams, and they need to understand that you are like them, like not that you're telling them to do things you're not doing yourself. I think one of the best stories I'll share with you, I think my daughter might have been like maybe 11 years old, and she had on her door, and be transparent with them about your dreams. Absolutely. Let me just say that she had a sign on her door, and it said, "Me time in progress, do not disturb." And I knew as a mom that she wouldn't have had that on her door had she not understood that I believe that spending time alone is creative time, it's healthy time, and it's great for your kids to grow up and understand that. You never thought of dating yourself before. You need to date yourself 90 minutes a week. It's what I teach all of my clients to do. I run self-care groups around the country, over 283 groups, laughing out loud, right? That's awesome, right? That she had that sign on her door. 90 minutes a week, right? 90 minutes a week you date yourself so you can get to know yourself again, so you can prioritize what is most important to you. Most moms are reactionary, right? We respond to what is in front of us. But what I want you to do is focus and have priorities about what you're going to focus on for your family. If you can't share your dreams with your kids, then how can you pursue them? You're a hypocrite. See, a lot of moms are hypocrites that I meet. Like they tell their kids to do things that they never do. Like they tell their kids to have great friendships, and they don't have any. They only have friendships that revolve around their children. They tell their kids to go for their dreams, and yet them as moms, they're not modeling that for their own kids. Yes, Glenn, spending time alone is creative time. Date yourself so that you can prioritize what's important to you. I'm going to do that. You're going to date yourself. You got to date yourself 90 minutes a week. It's one of the things that I teach in one of my books, Time for Mommy, 5 Essential Strategies for a Mother's Self-Care. Self-care dates are imperative. So, just because you're mom doesn't mean I'm preaching. You feeling me? Listen, I'm always preaching. Like, I love it. Number 2, just because you're mom doesn't mean here we go. Here we go. That you can't strike a balance between home and work, right? Thank you, Glenn. That you can't strike a balance between home and work. And let me tell you something. This is how I look at what balance is, right? So the reality in motherhood, your teenager is pushing your buttons. That's what they do. So he's healthy or she's healthy, okay? Just because you're a mom doesn't mean you can't strike a balance. What you need to understand is that imbalance is your friend. So imbalance is what is your friend. See, imbalance tells you the crucial conversations you need to have, the systems. Wow, I just said this earlier, wonderful. The systems that you need to put in place. It tells you what you need to ask for, okay? How vulnerable you need to be with the people that you love the most. See, a lot of us are looking for things to be exactly perfect. It never happens. But if you understand that imbalance is really a gift for you to be able to ask for what you need to renegotiate your life, you'll understand you get to choose powerfully when you operate from that place. And so many of us as moms are looking at somebody else's life, and based on looking at someone else's life, we like to then decide for ourselves, like, we look at our lives and we say, okay, this isn't working for me. What I'm telling you is that imbalance is the best thing that has ever happened to you. I just feel like I can do everything. You can't do everything forever. Okay, so what we're talking about when we're thinking about balance is sustainability. And sustainability is what real balance looks like, right? And those are systems. So if you put systems in place in your life as a mom, intentional living on your own terms, absolutely. If you put systems in place as a mom, what you understand is that you'll be able to maintain those over a period of time. Does that make sense? So instead of thinking about you being the person doing it forever, thinking about sustainable systems. Like, is what you're giving to your family sustainable? Like, really? Okay, does it make you happy? Does it make you fulfilled? Because your family wants that for you, and you should want that for you. I meet moms all the time. They're really great at keeping calendars, right? But they're not great at putting themselves on a family calendar. They don't put themselves on a family calendar. So your kids grow up. They don't understand you have needs. You've got things to do that don't relate to them. This is a healthy thing. It's a healthy view. It's one of the ways that you strike a balance in a family is by letting your kids know that, hey, I need you too. Like, I actually need you to set the table tonight. Like, we need you to set the table tonight. It's called balance. I cook the meal, you set the table. That's what it is. I'm trying to tell you, right? So the important thing as a mom thank you so much, Julia, as a mom, is that we set the example and that we teach our kids how, in our family, how we built a culture of what self-care looks like. And I meet so many moms that don't do it. They don't build a culture of self-care. You need to be a whole person and give them responsibility. Absolutely, Carol. Okay, for those of you who are just joining me, I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist. Now, I support mostly moms with life and business success, and some dads, all right? And you guys can always check me out at miaredrick.com, Yeah, your mom did everything. My mom did everything too. My mom was that mom. So here's my story. I don't know if you guys know this, but the way I got started in my business, actually, I was 6 months pregnant, and my mom sat me down. She made me promise her that I would date myself every week as a new mom. Now, mind you, I'm pregnant. Okay, it's my first child. This is 17 years ago. I don't even know what I would do on a date by myself, and she doesn't know what to tell me to do, okay? So I take her up on this challenge. I go to a mom's group. This is what I decide to do. I'm going to go to a mom's group. When I get to this mom's group, I'm the only mom that's pregnant. And all of these, absolutely, I love her for that. All of these other moms have kids, but I'm pregnant, okay? And I'm listening to these moms say the exact same thing. I don't have any time for myself. I feel guilty for doing anything for myself. I don't know the last time I did anything for myself. My husband and I are not, close as we used to be. And they're becoming disconnected from themselves. And I decided to enter motherhood by dating myself every single week for 90 minutes a week. I dare say I've dated myself more than any mom in the world because I began motherhood with that intention at 6 months pregnant, okay? And it's been a tremendous gift for me. So when I talk to you guys about mom self-care and taking care of yourself, it isn't something that I study. It's something that I live. It's something that I believe in. I've been doing it for the last 17 and a half years, 18 and a half years, because my son is 17 and a half, right? For the last 18 and a half years, and very few times have I ever missed dating myself. And the power of dating myself, absolutely, the power of dating myself has changed my life. It's allowed me to be more connected to who I am. It's taught me that I can be myself. I don't have to be a creative duplicator. I can own who I am as a mom, and it's enough. Thank you for learning something new. I am so grateful that my mom gave me something that she didn't have, that she allowed me to stand on her shoulders. How cool is that, right? So just because you're a mom doesn't mean that you can't strike a balance between home and work, but you get to define what that looks like for you. And that's what I want you to know. Number 3 is, okay, just because you're a mom does not mean that you cannot find time for yourself. And I know that a lot of you guys believe you can't find time for yourself. And I'm telling you, just because you're a mom doesn't mean you can't find time for yourself. There is time. And I recommend 90 minutes a week. It's beautiful. She's amazing. I recommend 90 minutes a week that you find time for yourself. 90 minutes a week. I believe in ritualistic self-care, not just finding time for yourself when you can, but putting yourself on the calendar so that your family, your spouse knows what that means. You're going to teach your daughters this. It's such a powerful tool. When your kids get used to you spending 90 minutes alone, part of their blueprint becomes, of course, they need time to themselves, and you do too. And it's a healthy part of building a family that believes in what self-care looks like, right? Within your family. My husband tells me too. See, one of the things that we do as moms, sometimes we'll say to our spouse, like, I need time to myself. And then maybe your spouse might give you that time. And then, Saturday morning comes, and you're still in bed. Like, you don't go and take it. But what I'm telling you that is so powerful. One of the things that I talk about in one of my books, Time for Mommy, 5 Essential Strategies for a Mother's Self-Care, is that my husband, there's one chapter that says, my husband says that I'm ready to love again. And ready to love again really came from me taking time for myself. My husband could see the difference in who I was as his wife because I was taking time for myself. And if you are not doing that, what I'm telling you is that you're not able to add as much value to your relationships, to your intimate relationships that you want, because you got to know yourself. You got to like yourself. See, so often we're not dating ourselves and we're expecting people to give us what we can't give ourselves. Somebody say, I know what you're talking about, Mia, right? Say, I know what you're talking about, Mia. And the reality is it's true. A lot of moms don't want to own it. Your partner will say, hey, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go to dinner? You don't even know where you want to go to dinner because you don't know what you like like anymore, and that is your responsibility. You don't get to dump who you do not know onto someone else and ask them to do for you what you do not do for yourself. Come on, guys. Right? You know I'm telling the truth. It's a light bulb moment. And I'm saying that if no one's told you, I just told you, right? It's so important to add value to your relationships. It's about self-love, right? And it's about adding value. And it's about not asking your partner to give you who you are not. Ooh, you are you in my life, right? Absolutely, right? It's so, I say I don't care. You do care. You need to know and add value and make it easier. I know we lose ourselves by neglecting ourselves. We get lost in motherhood. It's like a silent war. You slowly fade away from your preferences, who you are, what you like anymore. What I'm telling you is that if you spend 90 minutes alone, it is a miracle cure. It'll allow you to become clear about who you are, and therefore you'll be able to add value to your relationships. And it's so important. And your kids need to see that. And your spouse needs to see that. And everybody wants you happy. Okay, here we go. Number four. Okay. Just because your mom doesn't mean, I'm sorry, you can't date your spouse, okay, or your partner. Like, listen, just because your mom doesn't mean you can't date him. Doesn't mean it, okay? Thank you. I needed that. Listen, just because your mom does not mean that you can't date him. I am just telling you, you need to date him. That is a priority. Love yourself so you can give effectively. Doesn't mean you cannot date your spouse. You need to be dating your spouse. And I mentioned earlier, I date my kids, I date myself, and I date my husband. And why? Because I want to keep an intimate connection with him. And so many moms are, you encourage, amen, right? Yes, because someone else will. I don't know that. I think for me, that's a scarcity thought. I don't think that I'm going to date him because someone else is. I'm going to date him because I love him. And I'm going to date him because I value him. And because I value our relationship. And because I want to stay connected in my relationship. And I'm not thinking about anybody else in my relationship. That's a limiting belief as I see it. But the fact of the matter is, just because you're a mom does not mean you cannot date him. Okay? And just because you are a mom means that you need to be dating him. You guys need to be dating all the time. I want my kids to see us that, yes, ma'am, you need to prioritize your dates. We date all the time. My kids, I'm going to tell you what, my kids say, ooh, yuck, like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you guys date all the time. You know what? I love the fact that I've given my kids that blueprint, that we love you guys, but we love one another too. See ya. Okay. Bye. Okay. And we enjoy one another. And it's so important in a relationship to grow together. Think about when you first got together, pre-kids, right? Before kids, you went out all the time. You spent time together. It's very important to keep an intimate relationship and the connection open. So many people are talking about the kids all day long. You know, I'm telling the truth. And they are not talking about what it takes, what's on his heart, what's important to you guys to move forward. They can see what love looks like. I think it's important to show your kids what love looks like. I think it's important to keep the fire going. Okay? I think it's important not to have headaches. I think it's important to have conversations that are adult conversations. I think it's important not to just talk about your kids. It's important in an intimate relationship. I know the hearts went away, but I'm breaking it down. Teaches them how they should be treated. Teaches them how they should be treated. And it's not about your kids. It's about your relationship and making your relationship a priority with your partner because you value that. And that's why you go out with your partner. And just because you're a mom doesn't mean you can't get a babysitter. Let me tell you what we did over the years. Pat and I date all the time, but one of the things that we did a standing order babysitter. We had a babysitter that would come over every Friday night. Okay, so she would come over every Friday night, even if we couldn't. Okay, go out. Like, so she could either watch our kids, but we told her we want you to come no matter what, and we've just figured it out. And we got good at dating, right? Because the babysitter was always going to come. And if you guys are struggling with your babysitter situation, one thing I will share with you that always worked really well for me was we would get babysitters that were college students in their sophomore year education majors to come over and babysit the kids. They would say their sophomore, junior, and senior year. They would be our babysitters when they would be back in school as a standing order. And we would take great care of them because, college kids, they don't have family. And then Dick Van Dyke and Lucy always had a sitter. Absolutely. They sure did, Pat. Good to see you. And they would come over and the kids would become attached to them. Sometimes those babysitters could be tutors or play music with the kids, whatever. But we did standing order babysitters. It totally worked. That's what we did. Now my kids are 17, 14, and 10. We don't need a babysitter. We can leave and go on a date in a flash, and we do. And we let our kids see that. Like, we let our kids understand that's the spectrum of what a great relationship looks like. It's not about you. It's about us too, okay? It's not all about you guys. It's about us too. And we want our kids to have a healthy view of what relationships look like. And I think so many moms are so focused on being moms and making sure that their kids get everything. And they forget about the person that they sleep with every single night. Sorry, I had to say it. But they forget about that. And you can't forget about that, okay? It's very, very important. Just because you're a mom doesn't mean, I told you I was going to bring it tonight, just doesn't mean that you have to look frumpy. I'm sorry. Okay. I just wanted to say it. Like, listen, it doesn't mean you have to look frumpy. There are a lot of different options, right? You needed that, right? Your children will leave the house one day and your husband will be there. He will be there. All right. And you guys don't need to get reacquainted, right? You need to maintain whatever is going on. Just because you're a mom, you don't need to look. You're glad. I'm glad I found you too. Listen. You don't need to look frumpy. There's so many different options. I'm going to tell you a secret. I tell all of my clients at my last retreat that I did in November of this year. If you guys haven't come, you need to come to the Time for Mommy Retreat and Experience Weekend. It's November 11th through 13th this year in Maryland. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Carol. It's November 11th through 13th in Baltimore. And I do a retreat every year. This past year, last year, be a hot mama, be hot your own way, whatever that looks like, right? So, and this past year, we had Nordstrom's personal styling come out, and we had the Smashbox cosmetic line come out and show you different ways, right? Guilt or frumpiness. Let's talk about it, okay? Acknowledgement is the first step in a healing process, okay? All right, let me just say, all right, but here's the thing. We had Nordstrom's personal styling come out. Did you guys know that you could go to Nordstrom's personal styling and it's free? Did anybody know that service is free? Okay, it's free. Somebody say free. You go to Nordstrom's personal styling, and it's in the women's section. They will style you. They will literally spend hours with you, pick out the best looks for you for free. Free. Somebody say free. Okay, and it's one of those services that I've used over the years. Most people don't know it's free. It's a great high-end service. If you want to choose a top, you want to choose a pair of jeans, you want to choose some great t-shirts, nice looks. Hubby says my granny panties need to go. They gotta go, Nettie. They need to go. Okay, he said they gotta go. Go get something cute. Nordstrom's personal styling. Even at the lingerie, they'll pick out what you need. What was it again? Nordstrom's, the department store, has a personal styling section, and they will pick out, personal stylists will work with you 2 or 3 hours. You book an appointment, and it's free. And it's free. You guys, it's free. Okay? And yeah, Victoria's Secret has a secret just for you. I love that, Pat. It's free. And what you need to understand is that being frumpy is a choice. When we are frumpy, it is because of how you are feeling about yourself. You are so doing that, right? We had Nordstrom's come this year, personal styling, and style other women. And it was amazing the looks that they did. You have granny bras. Look, burn the granny bras. Are you kidding me? Okay, he doesn't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. And I'm saying that it's not about, it's not about judging or living according to anyone else's standards. It's about feeling good, but knowing what your options are. And if you go to Nordstrom's personal styling, they'll do lingerie for you also. They will literally bring all the bras. I've done this before. Bring all your bras, all your panties, all of your undergarments, and you just get to try them all on, and they'll show you how to wear them, the best way to wear them, etc. Did you know the best way to wear them? I know you want to know. I can't get into that on this broadcast. But then nonetheless, what I'm going to tell you is that it is free. And what you need to be looking at are personal styling services. If you don't like to shop, that is a really great option for you. And I just want you to, I know. I just want you to understand that I know, man. I need an overhaul, right? If you feel good, look good for underneath to the outside. This is so important. Yes, it's funny. Frumpy is a choice. Frumpy is a choice. And when we feel frumpy, then we're asking people to tell us that we're beautiful because we don't believe we're beautiful. Hear me, guys? If you are feeling frumpy, you're saying, tell me, you don't tell me I look beautiful anymore. The truth of the matter is you might have been told, but you can't hear it because you don't believe it. Yes, you need to burn them, right? Like, so I'm just trying to break it down. Why? Because I want to support more moms. Hey, Tara, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm just saying that it's so important and that we don't talk about the truth about motherhood enough. But hey, I got a yes from Reggie. He's like, come on, bring it, right? Wiki. I'm having fun tonight. Okay, tonight, let me just recap. If you're just joining me via the web, let me say, I'm having a lot of fun. Like tonight, right, girl, preach. Mom strategy, preach, girl, right? Speak truth, right? Okay. Just because you're a mom, we're talking about tonight, just because you're a mom does not mean, number one, that if you pursue your dreams, you are selfish, okay? That is your responsibility to pursue your dream so your family gets to know all of who you are. Number two, just because you're a mom doesn't mean you cannot strike a balance. Imbalance is your friend. I explain it. If you missed it, check the replay and you'll get it. Number three is that you can't find time for yourself. Just because you're a mom, you can find time for yourself. You need to love yourself, absolutely. Number four, just because you're a mom does not mean that you need to be walking around here frumpy, okay? Frumpy. Say it slowly. Frumpy. The word doesn't even fit you, okay? And number four, just because you're a mom doesn't mean, oh, this is good. Okay, just because you're a mom does not mean that you have to show up like you're not a mother. Okay, so Mia, what are you talking about? I'm going to talk about that for a second because, no frumpy allowed. Nicole is in the house, right? Frumpy. Okay, frumpy. Okay. Just because you're a mom doesn't mean also that you can't show up like a mother, okay? So let me tell you what I mean by that. And I mean that specifically in the coaching space or the teaching space. Because I meet so many moms, right, that they say to me, like, hey, I was doing this program. And they're like, hey, just because you're a mom, like, you're a mom, you need to show up like everybody else. And I'm like, that's ridiculous, okay? Like, I have to nurse my kids, or maybe I had to get bottles ready, or maybe I had to be in carpool with my kids for like 3 hours a day. I actually do need to acknowledge that I am a mom, and I want you guys to understand, frumpy needs to die, right? What I want you to understand is that just because you're a mother, you don't need to be embarrassed because you are a mother and you can't do things the way that other people do things. You need systems to be able to show up powerfully for yourself as a mom. See, for me, as a mom, I had 3 kids. My husband went on dialysis 6 years ago. So my son was 11, my daughter was 8, and my son was 4, okay? Yeah, thank you. Represent the true you. That's beautiful, right? All right. And so when that happened, I had to acknowledge, one, that I am a mom, okay? And my husband's in dialysis 15 to 18 hours a week. So what am I going to do? Like, I'm going to show up at a program or build a business and pretend that I'm not a mother, right? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's the truest route to unhappiness. So what I want to say to you guys, like you guys out here who are investing in coaching, teaching, training, mentorship programs, what you got to understand is you got to do it your way. You got to make sure that you create systems that are mom-friendly for you, all right? And it's totally possible. It doesn't mean that anyone's making any exceptions for you, but you can't be embarrassed of the fact that you are a mom. I just want to say that. Master Biz Coach is in the house. Melissa is in the house. Hey, Melissa, we are talking tonight that, like, just because you're a mom, like, just because you are a mom, you have to understand that it's okay to show up as a mom and to acknowledge that for yourself, because a lot of us are ignoring the fact that we are moms. We're trying to show up like everyone else, like the guys or like the girls that aren't dealing with the circumstances that we are. And as a result of that, you're trying to compete with people that you shouldn't even be competing with. It's about your own journey. It's about understanding, what is it going to take for me to be able to get my book written? What is it going to be for me? Moms totally rock. What is it going to be for me in order for me to consistently be able to get, to be able to consistently get out the door, to be able to get to my appointments or get whatever I need done, okay? So a lot of us are not thinking about that. We're looking at everyone else that they don't have the same circumstances that we have in motherhood. And as a result of that, you're feeling like you're moving in slow motion instead of acknowledging what you are actually doing. See, for me, when I got started in my business, I was only doing 4 to 6 hours a week. I'm a mom. Hear me roar. Absolutely. And no frumpy. Be proud of your mother role. Amen. Right. Thank you so much, guys. 608,000. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate it. I totally appreciate it. And I told you guys I was going to serve it up and that this call was going to be tonight a big call because I want you to get this. Just because you're a mom, right? There's no excuse. There's nothing to be embarrassed about being a mom. You need systems to show up more powerfully for yourself. You need to make sure the people that you're working with understand that and that there's a space, they hold a space for you in that way. That doesn't mean that you can do less. In fact, most moms do a lot more than everybody else, right? You try pumping a couple of bottles each day, nursing your kids, changing 1 million diapers, right? And running your business. That's a lot. And going to work and dealing with your, work full time and trying to get dinner on the table. That's a lot. You love being a mom. I just need hired help. There are systems that you need to put in place for yourself as a mom to show up more powerfully. Yes, absolutely, to know your worth. And what you need to understand is that you need to be unapologetic about those things. See, over the years, I needed to employ a lot of systems in order for me to be able to do my business. See, my husband was on dialysis 15 to 18 hours a week. My kids were all young, 11 and under, my 3 kids, when that happened. So what I understood was that I do not have an S on my chest or a W, okay? Yeah, to systems that support motherhood. Absolutely. And a lot of us, we don't think about that, right? Because what we're thinking about is how to show up like everybody else. But what I'm telling you is that it's only important as to how you need to show up. See, for me, I focused on being consistent, persistent in my business so that I could be sustainable over 4 to 6 years. And for the last 10 years, I have been a full-time entrepreneur. And you know what? That means I have not worked a job. I don't work jobs. I haven't worked a job. I'm not against that, but I'm telling you that because I know that a lot of you guys want to own your time. You want to be a full-time entrepreneur also. My husband is a full-time entrepreneur, and you know what? He's been home also for the last 10 years, and I'm exceptionally proud about that because we did that. We did that thing. You hate a job, right? But your job is a blessing if it creates the income to create the transition and build the lifestyle that you want. So I bless the job. I don't curse the job. I bless the job. It's a great opportunity for you to be able to invest in your dream with it. It's a tool. But I know that so many of you want to be entrepreneurs. Okay, so on our scopes, one of the things that I love for you guys to do is to write, and then tap, tap, tap. No, write, and tap, tap, tap. Remember, at 500, every 500 hearts, you need to reset. You actually have to leave the scope and you have to come back. Now, today we've been talking about, just because you're a mom doesn't mean, right? Just because you're a mom doesn't mean. Job is good, but own boss is better. Absolutely. I love being my own boss. And I tell you what really impacted me in motherhood as an entrepreneur, right, was when Pat had his surgery, when he got his kidney transplant last year. What was so beautiful for us was that we hired a private physician for Patrick while he was on dialysis. I was able to be there for my husband when he needed me most. And I never had to think about being anywhere else, all right? And I will tell you, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I always try to tell you guys the truth because sometimes people don't pull back the layers. You don't know how people really are making their money, what they're doing. But I've been a full-time entrepreneur for the last 10 years. Mothers multitask and handle their business. They just need to treat themselves well. And they need to acknowledge what they're doing. What I want you to understand is that anyone that tells you that, you need to show up like someone else and not acknowledge that you are a mom and all that you're doing, that is not it. We need to acknowledge what you're doing, create systems so that you can be consistent in your business and in your life or in your plan, in your business, in your transition plan as a mom, okay? Really, really important, okay? The hearts went away, but it's so true. Okay, the next thing is just because you're mom doesn't mean you have to know everything. Okay, just because you're a mom doesn't mean you have to know everything. You do not have to know everything. You do not have to know everything. You do not have to do everything. If you have that disease, the disease where we don't want as a mom to let people know what we do not know because we feel like we're being too vulnerable. Like we feel like in some way maybe we're inadequate as women, as moms, like you should know it. You don't have to know everything. And your kids will be just fine. And you got to understand that. What a beautiful blessing to him and your family and yourself. No stress of juggling with the employment right. Go Google it, laughing out loud, right? Absolutely. So the thing is, you don't have to know everything. And there's a freedom in understanding that you don't. There's a freedom in saying, I don't know. I remember saying to people, like when people would begin questioning my choices for my life and me saying to them, did that work for you? Like me understanding like it was okay with what I didn't know and that I didn't have to prove who I am or what I am to any person. Just because you're a mom, you don't have to know everything. And it's okay. Sometimes as a mom, people come up against you. You'll meet people in the mall. You'll meet people in your family who will judge the way that you are parenting or mothering. You don't have to answer all of that. You can choose to answer it, but I chose to answer it with, you know what? Did that work for you? I let my children know there is a lot I don't know. Absolutely. There's a freedom in it, right? There's a freedom in it in saying, you know what? I don't know. Did I ask you a question? I'm sorry, I didn't. Okay. And understanding that, you know what? Not everybody's opinion is an opinion you need. It's okay to fail in the motherhood journey. It's okay to make your mistakes. It's perfectly fine. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad mom. Like no one gets to judge you as a mom. Like there's no more superior role. Like you get to be the master of your own life, right? Like who else is the mother but you? You are. And understanding that you are in a powerful place is so important. Sometimes I have said, how did your way of parenting work for you? Sorry. Take the load off of you trying to operate like you're perfect. You're not perfect. And you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to pretend that it's perfect, right? At all. And you don't have to put up a pretense for anyone to prove to anyone that your way is okay. Your way is okay. And I meet so many moms that are still trying to battle with that or prove that or dealing with their own insecurities or believing that what somebody else is saying really is more important than their own opinions. And if this is you, this comment is for you, that you do not have to know everything and you need to know that that is perfectly okay. All right? Deal? Okay, somebody say deal, okay? Somebody say deal, okay? And just because you're a mom, okay, just because you're a mom, doesn't mean that, you don't deserve a break. You do deserve a break. You deserve it. Thank you so much. You do deserve a break. And you know what? Your spouse would give you a break if you said that you needed it. I got to plug this in, and I don't know how to do it. If you said that you needed a break, I'm trying to plug this in, guys. Got a low. Here we go. There we go. Thank you so much. If you told your partner, if you told your kids that you needed a break, you would get a break. And just because you're a mom doesn't mean that you don't get breaks. That's something that you created. It's an illusion in your world, and you need to stop it. You need to let people know when you're tired. You need to let people know when you need a break. You need to let them know when you've had enough. You need to let them know when you need help, because they need you to say that. And if you don't do that, then no one really knows what you need. Like my kids know that we need you teaching these young mothers. Absolutely. Thank you so much. So for example, like one of the things that I do if I go to the grocery store, and I might have told you guys this story, I go to the grocery store, and whenever I go to the grocery store, I call home, and if my husband is here, he'll tell the kids, your mom's coming with groceries, and they have to take the groceries out of the car, and they have to put them away. Why? Because that's the system that I created. See, my kids know that just because I am a mom doesn't mean that I buy the groceries and I put the groceries away. See, as a mom, you get to choose what systems your kids understand based on what you ask for. Just like you give your children timeouts, mom needs time out also, right? Moms do need time out. And what you need to understand, you need to create systems for your family that allow everybody to benefit and to build a culture of self-care. That's what I'm always about with families when I work with families one-to-one, or if I work with my clients one-to-one. It's about creating systems that are win-win for the family. Okay, so today was a big scope. I told you. So just to recap, number one is just because you're a mom doesn't mean that if you pursue your dream, you are selfish, that you can't strike a balance between home and work, that you can't find time for yourself, that you cannot date your spouse, okay, that you have to look frumpy, that you have to show up like you're not a mother, right? Are you kidding me? Okay, that you can't take care of yourself, that you have to know everything, that that, come on. So what I want you to do is just say, you know what, as a result of the scope today, if you do one thing, if there's one thing that you heard today that you're like, you know what, this really inspired me for change, just write it here. Like, what is the one thing that you heard today that you think, because of this, I'm going to choose something differently for myself? Because the reason for my scopes is to inspire you for change, right? My son told me in the AM, his slave, although he said, JK, I put him in his place, right? Just kidding, I put him in his place, right? We have a saying around our house, you're going to date your kids, okay? Well, my husband says that he's not slave boy Sammy, and I say I'm not slave girl Moolah, okay? You're gonna practice consistency. You're going to date your kids. Anybody else? What else are you going to do as a result? Okay, you're going to work on your frumpiness. I don't have to pretend, and it's okay to ask for help. Perfect. You're going to date yourself. That I need to date myself. You love that idea. Okay, frumpiness. You're going to work on frumpiness. You're going to leave frumpiness. Like, you're going to break up with frumpiness. Like, absolutely. Like, I love that, right? Because it is not just about hearing. It's about implementing, right? If you guys were on that scope yesterday, that's what it's about. It's not about what you hear. It's about what you implement that changes your life, right? And that's what we're talking about as a community. And I've had a great time sharing with you guys today. I want to open the floor and see if there are any questions for me. You're going to follow through, okay? Are there any questions for me? Any questions for me? Of course, I'd love to. You're going to stop feeling guilty. I'm not going to apologize for being a mom. Absolutely, right? Yes, Dream, we can do it. Absolutely. Thank you. You're welcome so much, DreamWorks. Tell me your name, DreamWorks. I don't remember what your name is. Okay. Dream, you're going to dream more. Okay, perfect. All right. Anything else? Okay. Are there any questions for me? Rose, okay, you might have to tell me a couple times. I'll get it. I'm going to share my dreams and have my kids share theirs. We will do vision boards. I love it. Thank you. How do you date yourself well? Well, I date myself well because I date systematically. So I date myself every single week. Yeah, I know. I date myself every single week, 90 minutes a week. It's on the calendar. Everybody knows when mom's going to go out with herself. I am 90 minutes a week. And then I just choose different things that I like to do. I book like concert series concerts to go to. I like seminars, so that's what I would do. I've done, listen to different artists, spoken word artists that I like. I've done that routinely. I've done cooking classes because that's something that I like. I've done, like makeup, like sessions where I've learned how to apply makeup. I've done just going to Barnes and Nobles and reading. I've gone to coffee shops and just bought a cup of coffee consistently at my favorite, coffee shop. So they don't have to be expensive. They just have to be ritualistic, meaning you do them all the time. And that as a result of spending that time alone, you begin to figure out what you like and what you love. And you get to add value. That means when your husband says, hey, where you want to go out tonight? You are like, oh, I really like this place. And you can add value. And you're not asking him to shoot at a target for something you want. You don't even know what it is, okay? You don't even know if you like it or not, okay? Very, very, very important. So, of course, any tips for single moms having to do it alone? Doing it alone is the same thing. One of the things that I recommend if you want to date yourself and you are a single mom, works for anyone, is find a friend to switch with. So this is what I recommend. I have a good friend who we used to switch. I would do Mondays and Wednesdays. I would watch her son for 3 hours, okay, on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then she would watch my child on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And what we did was, so I wanted to go to the gym, and she wanted to meet her husband for lunch and then do something else, run errands. And so we didn't have any money exchange. We literally just exchanged hours and time so that we can consistently get that time in for ourselves. And our kids liked one another, so it worked really well. So if there's another mom out there that you can switch with, that's a really great thing to do. The other thing is looking at a service like Sitter Cities or Baby Cities, which is really great also. If you want to swap like babysitting service, a strong support system is really important. And if not, join a great moms group. like a mom's organization where, you know, you can start checking out moms and see how your kids get along with the kids, and then you guys can start to switch together. So that's something I've always done when my kids were younger. What are the ages of your kids, Rose? And then I may have some more specific ideas for you. Are there any other questions for me? Are there any other questions for me? Did this scope support you guys? Did this support you guys? And of course, you know, if you need, what if the kids don't want to go on dates and they're 13? So here's the thing, that's cool. So if your kids haven't been used to going on dates with you, likely they're not going to want to go on a date with you, right? That's how it kind of starts, right? Okay, great. But remember, the date is all about them. So the date is not about you. It's about what they want to do. So one of the ways that I have a 14-year-old, that I get them to, it's like, what do you want to do? And they might want to do gaming. Like, they might just want to go to like Dave and Buster's and play games. But that means that you guys go together and play games. And initially, it might be a short date. It might be a half an hour or 45 minutes. And you say, hey, I've got some time. You want to go to Dave and Buster's? So it's about them. It's about you being in community with them and figuring out what they like to build a relationship with them. That's what the dates are about. It's not about what you want to do. It's about what they want to do. And if you focus on that, they'll say yes. They'll say yes because they're things that they want to do. Like, you know, so my son is 17 and we go on dates together. My daughter's 14. We totally go on dates together. My 10-year-old, he's really easy because he's pretty young. But it's all about what they want to do. And the whole idea is so I stay connected to their world, which is so important, you know, and particularly as they grow into their teenage years. Did that support you, Julia? Do you have any questions? Do you have any other questions for me? Okay. And so if any of you guys are ever interested in coaching with me directly, you can always email me. I'll give you my personal email address. It's Mia_Redrick. He said, you're old. Yeah, you're old. Yeah, I'm old too. Okay, but he'll go if it's something in it for him. Trust me on that. Okay, Mia_Redrick at findingdefinitions.com. That's my email address. Thank you, Julia, for putting that there. Mia_Redrick at findingdefinitions.com. Mia_Redrick at findingdefinitions.com. Now, I don't do free coaching, but if you're interested in trying to figure out, maybe you've been trying to work with a coach and you're like, hey, I kind of like you, and you want to talk about what programs or options are best, shoot me an email and let me know what you might be interested in. If you are an entrepreneur and you're interested in an entrepreneurial coaching program, I recommend a couple of things. One is Julia posted a link, which is a private one-to-one coaching session you can do with me that's discounted. It's like $200. It's just $200. You can book a one-to-one session with me. And you can go to my website, which is miaredrick.com, go to one-to-one coaching, and then you'll scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll see it's there. It's $200. I charge $1,000 an hour for a one-to-one coaching experience, but you can coach with me one time for $200. Okay, that's number one. Number two is that if you are interested in an entrepreneurial coaching program, then there's a program I offer called Core Moms Coaching, coremomscoaching.com, right? And that is a 3-hour, it's a 3-hour course each month. 1 hour business call, and then there's a 1 hour life call, and then there's a 1 hour open coaching call where you can ask any question that you want, and I'll answer it in a group setting. The curriculum is really awesome. It's how to create your product, how to monetize your product, how to position yourself as an expert, how to get media, how to build your brand. It's pretty phenomenal. Okay. Thank you so much. And you also get life systems calls, which is what's draining you, looking at, how to set boundaries in your life, making sure your office is set up properly. You've got hours to be able to work as a mom so you can be consistent in your business and your life, because I believe your life informs your business, like your business does not inform your life. Okay, let's be clear about that. And then there's an open coaching call, like whatever you're working on, you might have questions and you want to ask me directly, whatever it is, and I can answer that for you. There's a private community, and you also get assigned accountability partners. So that program is it is $4,200 a year, or $350 a month, or 3 payments of $1,200. Awesome. Or 3 payments of $1,200, or 1 payment of $3,000 for the whole year. Just said it, okay? And that's Core Moms Coaching. Or I have a coaching program that's new here on Periscope. Well, the program's not new, but it's new on Periscope. It's in a private video group session on Periscope, and I go deeper. I get to share the resources with you guys and step-by-step formulas on how to, build your business, monetize your product, etc. And I answer every question that's on the scope. It's $117 a month. You get access to a private community. You get access in a private portal, and you get video recordings of every single thing that we talk about. And there are tons of bonus education as well. Now, it's for you if you're an entrepreneur, like maybe, you're like, hey, I totally want to do Core Moms. I know I need a coach, and I like the way she teaches, and you're ready for, you're ready for a structured format for you to get results, but you need to be able to talk to somebody that can help you break it down. That's what it is. It's the Moms Academy, themomsacademy.com, okay? So are there any questions for me? Are there any questions for me? I have to say that I used to play Lionel Richie music, and I miss it. Like, I totally miss that, right? And so I know you guys do too. All right. So are there any questions for me? Did this scope support you guys today? Did it support you guys today? I had a lot of fun just breaking it down. Sorry. But that's my goal. What happened to Lionel? So here's the thing. I'm not really sure. I talked to my attorneys. I saw a panel that talked about the fact that I can play like 20 seconds of his music, but because it's copyrighted content, that there might be some liability if I play his content, and particularly if I'm selling my coaching programs here on, on a platform. So I just preferred not to, just to be safe. So very helpful scope. Thank you so much. All right. So that's why Lionel went away. So isn't that crazy? Okay. What did I do prior to being an entrepreneur? What did I do prior to being an entrepreneur? I was a trainer. I was a corporate trainer prior to being an entrepreneur. And that's what I was. I worked for Citibank for many years, loved it. I loved being a trainer. It was like I loved. That's why I always tell you guys that if you're working with like a coach, a teacher, a mentor, one of the things that's important is that the person teach you the how to, because I was a corporate trainer, right? And so as a trainer, I can teach the what. I know I should do that, right? Anybody can teach you the what. Like I could take a manual and break down the what for you, but I can only answer your questions in the how to if I've actually done it. That's why it's so important to make sure you ask your teachers how to. All right. And a lot of us aren't doing that because we don't feel like we can, but it's really important. And that's why sometimes if you do programs, you aren't getting the results because the how to isn't being broken down, provided that you're implementing, like you're doing the work and things like that. Okay. All right. Are there any other last questions for me before I sign out? My husband and my son are quiet because they're watching the football game. The Broncos won this afternoon, so my son is so happy. My husband and my kids also shoveled. You may even receive a dinner date for you and your family and a free ticket to the next tour. Nicole, I love the way that you think. I need to write him and tell him what I want to do. I need to write him and tell him. I always say that, hey, you know what? On my television show, I want to play, I want to play Lionel Richie music, right? So, that's just something that I would love to do. Okay, go Broncos. Boo. Yeah, guys, it was so much snow outside. It was 29.6 inches of snow is what we got in 24-hour period of time. Okay, and so when we were shoveling out, like my husband and my kids, well, just claim it. He will give you permission. Yes, okay. All right, I'm going to do it, Julia. Just like I'm going to get to 1 million, right? Yes, it's possible. So what was crazy was when I went outside and my husband and my kids were shoveling. I said I was shoveling, but I did like a little bit like in the backyard, so I can't even really call myself a shoveler in my family. Like they would say, no, that wasn't true. So it really wasn't really true. And it looked like igloos outside. Like it's just walls, like 4 feet on one side, 5 feet of snow on the other side, so that we could carve a path to get out. It'll be easy like Sunday morning. Yeah, for him to say yes. Yeah, maybe it'll be easy like Sunday morning. I'm a big Lionel Richie fan, guys. So it's so much snow. My street has not been plowed yet. I'm thinking tomorrow because it was so much snow for the city, and then we'll be able to get out to the main roads. I think they've done a good job on the main roads yesterday, and the side streets are going to get plowed on tomorrow. So if there are not any other questions, okay, I want to thank you guys for your time And I appreciate each and every one of you. Guys, knock it out the park, right? Live fully. If you're not on my email list, please make sure you're on it in case Periscope crashes and we can stay connected. MiaRedrick.com. You guys can always friend me on Facebook, Mia Redrick, Redrick, Mia Redrick, okay? And be sure to catch my past scopes at katch.me. Okay, thank you, Tara. I appreciate it. And just search Mia_Redrick, all right? With that, I'm done. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Tell them an affiliate program would be nice as well. Ha, ha, ha. I love that, Nicole. I love it. I love it. I'll talk